Don't forget to subscribe. Afterwards, the wisest and most spiritual books from the greatest authors await you every day. And now buckle up, sit back and we'll begin.
In the beginning, compassion is like the seed without which we cannot have any fruit. In the middle, compassion is like water to nourish the seed we have planted. In the end, compassion is like the warmth of the sun that brings the fruit to ripening. Gautama Buddha. It is impossible for a man who is bogged to extricate another who is bogged. Meat is not agreeable to the wise, it has a nauseating odor, it causes a bad reputation, it is food for the carnivorous. I say this, Mahamati, it is not to be eaten. Oh, how sweet it is to enjoy life, living in honesty and strength. And wisdom is sweet, and freedom. If there be one righteous person, the rain falls for his sake. Through vigilance, restraint and control the wise will construct an island that no flood will overcome. However many holy words you read, however many you speak, what good will they do you if you do not act on upon them? Being generous and kindly in speech, doing a good turn for others, and treating all alike. One like this will be praised. In 4 ways, should one who flatters be understood as a foe in the guise of a friend. He approves of his friend's evil deeds, he disapproves his friend's good deeds, he praises him in his presence, he speaks ill of him in his absence. Live like a mighty river. Seeker, empty the boat, lighten the load, be free of craving and judgment and hatred, and feel the joy of the way. All created things are impermanent. Strive diligently. How wonderful, how miraculous, all beings, but all beings, are fully endowed with the wisdom and power of the Tathagata. But, sadly, human beings, due to sticky attachments, are not aware of it. The no mind not thinks no thoughts about nothings. As irrigators lead water where they want, as archers make their arrows straight, as carpenters carve wood, the wise shape their minds. Beings are owners of their action, heirs of their action. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from boughs all around, even so shall I endure abuse. Happiness never decreased by being shared. What you think you become. For the good of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. Health is the first benefit. Content is the first fortune. Friendliness is the first kindness. Nirvana is the first happiness. Free from passion and desire, you have stripped the thorns from the stem. Do not be thoughtless, always be mindful, watch your thoughts. Draw yourself out of the path of evil, like an elephant sunk in mud. There are these 2 kinds of gifts, a gift of material things and a gift of the Dhamma. Of the 2, this is supreme, a gift of the Dhamma. One should refrain from intoxicating drinks and drugs. If beings knew, as I know, the results of giving and sharing, they would not eat without having given. You are the community now. Be a lamp for yourselves. Be your own refuge. Seek for no other. All things must pass. Strive on diligently. Don't give up. He who harms living beings is, for that reason, not an Arya, a noble one. He who does not harm any living being is called an Arya. The world is on fire. And you are laughing? You are deep in the dark. Will you not ask for a light? Overcome the angry by non-anger, overcome the wicked by goodness, overcome the miser by generosity, overcome the liar by truth. Here even the various mind-pleasing blossoming flowers, and attractive shining supreme golden houses, have no inherently existent maker at all. They are set up through the power of thought. Through the power of conceptuality the world is established. Hayat berlagini tekru bieden kisi buten kanler kendind, kendini de buten kanler de gorur ve herzai tarafs bir gozel bakar. He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings, and all beings in his own self, and looks on everything with an impartial eye. If you do not follow the right path, you will be lost. Like a mother who protects her child, her only child, with her own life, one should cultivate a heart of unlimited love and compassion towards all living beings. It is ignorance that smothers, and it is carelessness that makes it invisible. The hunger of craving pollutes the world, and the pain of suffering causes the greatest fear. If a man offend a harmless, pure, and innocent person, the evil falls back upon that fool, like light dust thrown up against the wind. One should strive to understand what underlies sufferings and diseases, and aim for health and well-being while gaining in the path. You, as much as anyone in the universe, deserve your love and respect. Pay no attention to the faults of others, things done or left undone by others. Consider only what by oneself is done or left undone. Noble friends and companions are the whole of the holy life. With goodwill for the entire cosmos, cultivate a limitless heart, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hostility or hate. As I am, so are these. As are these, so am I. Drawing the parallel to yourself, neither kill nor get others to kill. You are as the yellow leaf. The messengers of death are at hand. You are to travel far away. What will you take with you? You are the lamp to lighten the way. Then hurry, hurry, when your light shines. Not merely by rules of conduct and religious observances, nor by much learning either, nor even by attainment of concentration, nor by sleeping alone, do I reach the happiness of freedom, to which no worldlings attain. If you have not put an end to compulsions, nurse your faith. If one doth act in friendly wise, with no evil thought toward any single creature, and in so doing becometh proper, and if he have compassion in his soul toward all living beings, this noble one doth acquire abundant virtue. Seeking but not finding the house builder, I traveled through life after life. How painful is repeated birth! House builders, you have now been seen. You will not build the house again. Transient are conditioned things. Try to accomplish your aim with diligence. Remember, the greatest gift to give people your enlightenment, to share it. It has to be the greatest. I do not perceive even one other thing, O monks, that when undeveloped and uncultivated entails such great suffering as the mind. The mind when undeveloped and uncultivated entails great suffering. A virtuous man or woman who is determined to develop the supreme enlightened mind, should thus develop it: I have to lead all living beings to put a stop to reincarnation and escape suffering, and when they have been so led, not one of them in fact stops reincarnating or escapes suffering. Why? Because, if a bodhisattva believes in the notion of an ego, a personality, or a living being, he is not a true bodhisattva. Silence the angry man with love. Silence the ill-natured man with kindness. Silence the miser with generosity. Silence the liar with truth. Realizing the doctrine of dependent arising, the wise do not at all partake of extreme views. But, meat eating in any form, in any manner, and in any place is unconditionally and once and for all prohibited. Meat eating I have not permitted to anyone, I do not permit, I will not permit. Health, contentment, and trust are your greatest possessions, and freedom your greatest joy. The ill-directed mind can do to you even worse. Life at home is cramped and dirty. It is difficult to live a spiritual life completely, perfect and pure in all its parts while cabined. Believe nothing just because a so-called wise person said it. Believe nothing just because a belief is generally held. Believe nothing just because it is said in ancient books. Believe nothing just because it is said to be of divine origin. Believe nothing just because someone else believes it. Believe only what you yourself test and judge to be true. How will you become free? With a quiet mind come into that empty house, your heart, and feel the joy of the way beyond the world. Look within, the rising and the falling. Establish your mind as necessary for knowledge and remembrance. Establish a mind free of grasping to anything. If a man who enjoys a lesser happiness beholds a greater one, let him leave aside the lesser to gain the greater. Little by little a person becomes evil, as a water pot is filled by drops of water. Little by little a person becomes good, as a water pot is filled by drops of water. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. Full of love for all things in the world, practicing virtue, in order to benefit others, this man alone is happy. Just as gold is burnt, cut and rubbed, examine my words carefully and do not accept them simply out of respect. You have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy. Just as the dawn is the forerunner of the arising of the sun, so true friendship is the forerunner of the arising of the Noble Eightfold Path. Thousands upon thousands of lights is inferior to a light of heart. If you see an intelligent man who tells you where true treasures are to be found, who shows what is to be avoided, and administers reproofs, follow that wise man. It will be better, not worse, for those who follow him. The wind cannot overturn a mountain. Temptation cannot touch the man who is awake, strong and humble, who masters himself and minds the law. Of what I know, I have told you only a little. Why have I not told you the rest? Because it would not lead you to nirvana. Regard this fleeting world like this. Like stars fading and vanishing at dawn. like bubbles on a fast-moving stream, like morning dewdrops evaporating on blades of grass, like a candle flickering in a strong wind. Echoes, mirages, and phantoms, hallucinations. And like a dream. When you realize how perfect, or at least better than it could be, everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. Irrigators channel waters, fletchers straighten arrows, carpenters bend wood, the wise master themselves. They are not following Dharma who resort to violence to achieve their purpose, but those who lead others through non-violent means, knowing right and wrong, may be called guardians of the Dharma. Those who really seek the path to enlightenment dictate terms to their mind. Then they proceed with strong determination. We are shaped by our thoughts, we become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. Love the whole world as a mother loves her only child. The whole secret of Era is to specific no nervousness. Never nervousness. What fortitude become of you, depend on no one. Free the twinkling you and all help are you unrestricting. Household life is crowded and dusty, life gone forth is wide open. Suppose I shave off my hair and beard, put on the ochre robe, and go forth from the home life into homelessness. If with an impure mind a person speaks or acts, suffering follows him like the wheel that follows the foot of the ox. Those who by form did see me and those who followed me by voice, wrong the efforts they engaged in, those people will not see me. Happy indeed are the Arahants. No craving can be found in them. Cut off is the conceit I am, burst asunder is delusion's net. By three things the wise person may be known. What three? He sees a shortcoming as it is. When he sees it, he tries to correct it, and when another acknowledges a shortcoming, the wise one forgives it as he should. If a man's thoughts are muddy, if he is reckless and full of deceit, how can he wear the yellow robe? Whoever is master of his own nature, bright, clear and true, he may indeed wear the yellow robe. Be greatly aware of the present. Through countless births in the cycle of existence, I have run, not finding. Although seeking the builder of this house, and again I face the suffering of new birth. O house builder, now you are seen. You shall not build a house again for me. All your beams are broken. The ridgepole is shattered. The mind has become freed from conditioning. The end of craving has been reached. When faced with the vicissitudes of life, one's mind remains unshaken, sorrowless, stainless, secure. This is the greatest welfare. The glorious chariots of kings wear out, and the body wears out and grows old, but the virtue of the good never grows old. Mind precedes all phenomena, mind matters most, everything is mind-made. If with an impure mind, you speak or act, Then suffering follows you as the cartwheel follows the foot of the draft animal. If with a pure mind, you speak or act, then happiness follows you as a shadow that never departs. Joyously participate in the sorrows of others. Do not speak harshly to anyone, those who are spoken to will answer thee in the same way. Angry speech is painful, blows for blows will touch thee. 3 things cannot hide for long, the moon, the sun and the truth. Those who speak much are blamed, those who speak little are blamed. In this world there are none who are not blamed. Try not to blame. Freed by full realization and at peace, the mind of such a man is at peace, and his speech and action peaceful. He has no need for faith who knows the uncreated, who has cut off rebirth, who has destroyed any opportunity for good or evil, and cast away all desire. He is indeed the ultimate man. Ennui has made more gamblers than avarice, more drunkards than thirst, and perhaps as many suicides as despair. Well makers lead the water, wherever they like. Fletchers bend the arrow, carpenters bend a log of wood, wise people fashion themselves. To him in whom love dwells, the whole world is but one family. The wise ones fashion speech with their thought, sifting it as grain is sifted through a sieve. The 4 categories of existence, non-existence, both existence and non-existence, and neither existence nor non-existence, are spider webs among spider webs which can never take hold of the enormous bird of reality. Wakefulness is the way to life. The fool sleeps as if he were already dead, but the master is awake and he lives forever. When watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself. Gautama Buddha.
And that's not all. Our experts and regular viewers respond to all comments. Also check if you forgot to subscribe and set your bell to receive notifications about new audiobooks and other useful self-development materials that we release regularly. Join in the discussions, don't forget to give likes and, if possible and inspired, support the development of the channel financially. All useful links will be in the description and the first attached comment. Goodness, love and wisdom to all. And now move on to watch the next part of the video at the links below, or choose something from the playlists of the channel and those you see on the screen.